Hello everyone and welcome. Today it's a speed build day and this is a little beauty that we are building today. It is a desert modern home. So I am building this in Oasis Springs and it is on a 30 by 20 lot. It's Nookstone, I think that's what it says. Can't see it too clearly in the editing, but it's something like that. It's in Oasis Springs anyway. So I don't know, I've just been feeling quite inspired by the desert at the moment. I'm not sure what it is. Maybe it's because it's like quite warm here. Although the last couple of days it has been cold, so let's say that now. But it is a warm day today and the cicadas are outside. You might even be able to hear them in the background at some point. They are chirping away outside, making a racket. So I guess it's a cicada here. Anyway, I did have an inspiration for this build. So I was working off a picture and I didn't obviously get it exactly the same. I don't know that that's necessarily something you can always do because you've got to adapt for The Sims 4, right? You know, there's things that you just simply can't do in the game. We just don't have that building ability. But I think I got it pretty close. I was pretty happy with how it turned out. And, you know, I will use it basically an inspiration as a jumping off point. So, you know, this is kind of how I want to shape it and that sort of thing. And then I'll just tweak it to suit how I feel like the build should go a little bit later. I was actually really happy with the way that I got that sort of front shape to the build, because it's got like a lighter brown behind it, sort of square, and then like it's got the longer darker brown on the front in like the sort of backwards C shape. So I was actually, it took me a little bit of figuring out just how to actually get that shape happening. So I had like the two sort of different colors in the same level in the same sort of space, one in front of the other. So just using the half walls and yeah, managed to make it work. So I was very happy. So I did do like a little car park area underneath the house, and that is definitely how the inspiration went as well. So I thought that was super cute. The back I did make up because, as is quite often the case when you build working with an inspiration, you just kind of get like the front area and you don't get the back area. So you kind of have to make that up a little bit, and the sides as well quite often need to be made up too. So this sort of side of things I did make up as I went, but I think it worked with the build. Like there's not like a lot of grass or anything like that. It's all sort of quite landscaped in the sense that it's sort of concreted, or it's got, you know, paving and that sort of thing. So it's not like I would say super great for kids. But, you know, that's real life. Kids like to have a bit of room to run around and have some grass and have a play and, you know, that sort of thing. Whereas, I don't think they're so bothered about it in The Sims. So this is me just working out the colours that I'm going to work with. Obviously, we are in the desert and I wanted to use shades of brown. Brown is very in this season. So I think possibly because I've been doing like the on-trend CC and the on-trend room series on my channel, where I'm talking about different trends for 2024, design trends and stuff, and I have been talking a lot about browns and them being on trend. I think that's probably partially why I'm into desert stuff at the moment, because brown's kind of been on my mind, and when I'm thinking about browns, I'm thinking, you know, deserty kind of shades and that sort of thing. So I guess that's probably why it's gotten to be on my mind. So at the moment I am looking at windows. I actually won't keep those growing together windows. I will change to something else, and this will evolve color-wise as we go along as well. As is the case, like I think a lot of the times when I'm doing the colors and stuff, I'll paint the house and then I'll just sort of sit on it for a little while. I'll do something different and just sort of see, you know, like I'm adding in the fencing at this stage and just sort of seeing how it all kind of comes together. And I don't know, I think it's just like an instinct thing. Like you're looking at the colors and it's just like, do they work? Is that brown too dark to work with that light brown? You know, it's sort of the shades right. And it's just, yeah, I think it's just an experience and instinct thing more than anything. You just kind of get an eye for it as like you do more and more building, and you just get an eye for those things. I feel like you kind of know what you like and what you don't like along the way. So this is me changing the this is actually the color that I stick with. So this is the final the brown that I'm doing right now, that stays. The growing together slats, that'll change still, the darker brown, so that will change, but the color of the lighter brown at the moment, that stays as is. So this is me just working on what I want to do as far as color goes. So I'm going for the slightly lighter kind of orangey brown. I felt that worked really nicely with that shade of beige that I chose. So yeah, just changed it up a little bit, but I did keep a little bit of a dark brown in behind the windows in the front area. So you see that does actually stay there when we change the windows. Over a little bit later, I've just used the base game paving. So that is probably one of my favorite pavings in the game, is that base game. Like when they updated it for Growing Together, no, Horse Ranch, I was just like smitten with it, and I haven't actually fallen out of love with it yet. I use it all of the time because I just really like it. So you can sort of see the darker brown growing together colour there in that front little portion. So I kept that as the darker because I felt like that was actually quite a nice contrast against the beige that I chose. So in the top area, so this is going to be like a indoor outdoor sort of living balcony kind of area. So I've put the sliding door there. I think it's Eco Lifestyle, and Eco Lifestyle windows will be going in throughout the build as well. I did actually think quite a lot about how I was going to use the windows to shape the build as well and add sort of shapes. So, you know, I've kind of put the windows off to the side with the idea that leaving I guess a chunk of blank painted wall there just adds, like, you know, that extra bit of shape to the house and how it sits. So I did think about how to use the windows and how I could use those to shape things in the house as well. And I think that's something that you can do quite effectively, particularly with modern builds, is using your windows and how you paint the house to really create those geometric shapes that are really very in for modern housing, or ultra modern housing, if you want to be pedantic about the wording of it all. I was going to say something else and I can't remember what it was. Oh yeah, limited pack build. I completely forgot to tell you guys. This is a limited pack build. Now let me think of the packs. So Dream Home Decorator, Growing Together, Jungle Adventure, Eco Lifestyle, Island Living, what else? I think that's, and I added in Romantic Garden as well as the My First Pet stuff packs, because those are the two packs that we got free. So I'm just considering those kind of base game friendly-ish, for base game friendly basically packs, because if anyone that doesn't want to pay for packs was paying attention, then they should have got those two packs for free. So you should have like the base game, the holiday packs, obviously, because those come free, and then the romantic stuff pack and the My First Pet stuff pack, those you should have got free as well. So there's kind of like four packs that you should have that you didn't need to pay for, and then there's just a couple of extra bonus packs as well. Oh, and Snowy Escape, that was the other one. So not too many packs. I think I might have added in Laundry Day as well, because I wanted to put a laundry in, possibly. Let's see how I go with the build, but let me think. Yes, there is a laundry in here, so Laundry Day is another pack that is in there, and Tiny Home Living. Oh, so I said that in a really convoluted way, so I'm going to repeat it because I went on a tangent and got waylaid. So we have base game, we have Growing Together, Snowy Escape, Eco Lifestyle, Jungle Adventure, Laundry Day stuff pack, Romantic Garden stuff pack, My First Pet stuff pack, Tiny Home stuff pack, and I think that's it. So yeah, pretty limited as far as the builds go. It should be some fairly popular packs as well. I didn't do any kits or anything like that, so I think it should be nice and accessible for people. I kind of have this thing where I love building with the Growing Together stuff still. Like, we're how many packs now? So we've had like Horse Ranch and For Rent since the Growing Together pack, and I still love building with the Growing Together pack, even though I've been building with it for I don't know, when did that come out? Maybe a year ago? There's been so many packs that have come out, it's really hard to remember. But anyway, I still love building with it. It's just like a really good, lovely modern pack that I find really enjoyable to build with. So yeah, it's just one of those things. So we are moving to, well, we're still in the upstairs area in the outdoor area. So using the Snowy Escape seating, just the base game barbecue, knives and tables and seating and that sort of thing. So it's Snowy Escape seating there, and I'm just going to use Snowy Escape end table and a base game plant. So now we're moving to the inside. The outside is about done, and just got to work out the floor plan. So we're upstairs at the moment, and it is going to be a two bedroom, two bathroom, I think, built. So there's going to be, let me think. Yes, there we go. I was going to say an extra bathroom out there. So two bedroom, two bathroom. There is, no, three bathroom, because I put an extra bathroom downstairs. And there's going to be a laundry as well. So I often forget the laundry side of things. So I did remember this time. I think the for rent pack has made me more conscious of putting laundry in builds. And so, you know, because you want to build that shared sort of laundry area and that sort of thing. So yeah, you do think about the laundry and that sort of thing more. So yeah, I am more conscious of having laundries in my builds. And I guess if you don't like them, you can just delete it and make it another bathroom or whatever you like. It was a reasonable, it's just like a little kind of square kind of room. So yeah, you can make it like a hall closet, you can make it a storage area, whatever you like. Make it a pantry. I mean, it sort of runs off from the kitchen, so you can maybe make it a pantry if you wanted to. Oh, the door, because I had the growing together door there, but it was like, because it's on a platform, it was actually poking through the floor upstairs, and because I thought it was like a fence at first when I saw it, and so I deleted it, and then I was like, oh, where did my door go? So I put the door back, and then like I saw it again, and I was like, went to delete it again, I was like, oh, hang on, that's the door. The door. Yeah, anyway. So I could not fit the growing together door on the front door, but you know, quite often the front door is different from the other doors, like the other exterior doors in the house, because it's, you know, your big fancy one or whatever. So I figured it was fine to have that one different and the other ones just stay as growing together. So because I am working to a short wall in this one, the short walls are my favorite size walls. At the end of the day, they're the ones that I really like building with. So more often than not, if I'm going to choose what size wall I'm doing, I will go with a short wall. But it does mean that some of the windows and doors, particularly from growing together, do struggle to fit with the short wall. They're not like great with the short walls. So yeah, they are better with the medium walls, I find. But you know, you make them work. So this is a laundry coming together. So I'm just getting my little bits and pieces of clutter. And I'm going to put a few bits and pieces in there. So I actually used a little diaper changing display, and then just a laundry day display cabinet, and just a little bits of laundry day clutter really. And then moving into the downstairs bathroom. So I've used the Jungle Adventure wallpaper. I really like the Jungle Adventure. I mean, I just love the Jungle Adventure pack altogether. So it's just one of my favorite packs to build with. I really need to go and actually play it. Like, I have never done the aspiration for Jungle Adventure. I haven't done the collectibles, anything like that. I was saving it for a special occasion. I don't know what that occasion is, and I don't know why I was saving it. So anyway, one of these days I will get around to playing it. But I love building with the pack, like the wallpapers, the beautiful wood furniture. I mean, it's just I love it. Chef's kiss. So just getting little bits and pieces in there. Use the growing together the bath shower combo, which is absolutely gorgeous. Now moving on to the living area. This place is actually going to have like a fairly small living area, but like a huge kitchen. Like the kitchen is massive. So that's going to be like the heart of the home in this build, is the kitchen rather than the living area. It's just sort of like a little TV area really. So I'm just putting the curtains in, and those are Dream Home Decorator, I think. Oh, Dream Home Decorator. That's the other pack that's in here. Because I wanted to, I don't know, I kind of felt like that pack worked nicely with some of the other packs that I chose. So anyway, limited pack build. So those are the island living chairs. I fussed around with them for a while, but it ended up being that I just could not make those work with the rest of the room, so end up having to change those. So that's the Dream Home Decorator stuff coming in there, so just using it under the TV and as the coffee table. And see you later island living stuff. We will put a different couch and combo there, but I'm just building like a little under the TV unit, just put some books in there and some little bits and pieces of clutter just to make it look pretty. And I saw that little bonsai, I was like, oh, hang on, that's going to be perfect on the table, because I was really limited in plants in this build. I didn't have like heaps and heaps of options, because, you know, obviously one of the best options in the game for plants is the Blooming Rooms kit. Like, oh, love that kit. It's just absolutely gorgeous for decorating, and because I love putting plants in builds, and it's one of my things. So I did miss that kit a little bit, but I used the Snowy Escape lounge suite there, and I think that actually worked really nicely with the room. I didn't like the painting with the rest of the room, so I did change that just to, I don't know, sharpen it up, make it look nicer. I don't know. It just wasn't working. It's one of those things where I looked at it and was like, I don't like it. So I'm using Dream Home Decorator again, and that's the tables and chair set. So mixing the blue with the brown. And as you can see, obviously it's a blue and brown kind of build. Also rugs were a struggle as well. I mean, in general, rugs are a struggle, and paintings are a struggle, and plants are a struggle if you're not using kits. That's just the reality of building. That yeah, if you're building without kits for a limited pack build, or you don't have them, it can be tough. I mean, I would absolutely love like a basics building pack. Imagine if you had like a basics pack, right? And it just had like one of each thing, but it had like 15 to 20 different like swatches. So you'd have one bouquet of flowers, but a whole lot of different swatches where the flowers changed colour, not just the vase. And yeah, like 20 different colours in that, like plain poles that you can move around, like vertical and horizontal. Fence, like a basic fence that you could free float around and place, like, you know, like items like you have in debug, and like a rug, and that's got like 15-20 swatches, and maybe a couple of paintings, again like a whole lot of different swatches. That, I mean, that would be so amazing to have something like that, where it's just like, and like same with like curtains, just like a really plain curtain, but a whole heap of like swatches and colors, so that you can really customize building with basic sim stuff without having to go to CC to find it, because we shouldn't have to go to CC to find these things. We should have it in game, but we don't. So we have these marvelous CC creators who do these amazing things that honestly, you know, we should have available to us in the game already, and we don't. I mean, it's hard to know what everybody wants, and it's hard to get these things right, and hard to get these things perfect. And we know the Sims 4 is hard, you know, far from perfect. It has plenty of glitches, and honestly, I would rather have the glitches fixed than new packs, but they are a business and they do need to make money, so I understand why they have to keep pushing out the new packs all the time. And also I'm there for that, because I always love new stuff, but yeah, it would be great if all the glitches and the little things that should be fixed would be fixed. That would be amazing. But you can sort of see the kitchen coming together. So if you're not aware, in the surfaces displays area, there is an island living top counter shelf that you can use. So in the kitchen top counter area, there's not actually an island living top counter, but there is that in the surfaces displays section. For island living, there is that kitchen sort of display shelving. So there's 3 different types of shelving that you can mix and match and create the kitchen. So that's what I used to do that. So just using some more of the island living counters. So these are the breakfast counters now, just adding in like a little tea set area and a couple of tea sets, and just make it a cute little nook for having a cup of tea in the mornings, perhaps having a little chitty chat while you wake up. Have your mum juice, as I call it. My mum juice. So I had a little bit of space, so I thought, well, you know what, it'd be nice to have like a little chitty chat area, maybe sit down on the couch. Maybe the kids are up on the counter and mum and dad sit down on the or mum and mum, or dad and dad sit down on the couch and have a nice cup of tea and a chitty chat in the morning, have some family time or something like that, or even in the evenings, or whatever you like. So I just working on a rug, and then I decided I just could not make that island living couch work anywhere in the house. I tried so hard, but I didn't like it. So it's like, eh. So this is just me tweaking the colours, just one of those instinct things again, and now we're upstairs. So this is the little living space upstairs. I mean, there's not a lot of room there, so it's just basically a couch and a couple of things on the wall and a plant. And that's basically it, because I did have to leave that space free so that the sliding door could be accessible, so they could go out there. And then moving into the first of the 2 bedrooms upstairs, I'm just getting the curtains in. So that's from Dream Home Decorator, I believe, just the blue one. I do like those, and I like the ones that came with Eco Lifestyle as well, and I think Seasons have some really good curtains too. So, you know, outside of the Desert Luxe and the Modern Luxe kit curtains, which are the 2 best curtains in the game, those are some of the basic curtains that I love to use. I also really love those blinds, so I always use them in the bathroom, and they're base game blinds. I discovered them, must have been maybe a year ago now. Like, I'd never used them before, and then I was I was mucking around and doing something, and I came across them, and I was like, oh, you know what, I actually don't mind these. So since I discovered them, I have used them really regularly since. I think because they've got a really nice square aspect to them, I find them really easy to use for things like bathrooms where you got to cover up the windows and stuff. I have moved away from, for the most part, I mean, every now and then you tweak windows, but I've tried to really stick to keeping the windows as they are when I build the exterior of the build, because I put the windows where they are for a reason when I'm building the exterior. And I think at the end of the day, it's better to tweak the interior than it is the exterior of the build to suit what I'm doing. So, you know, if that makes sense, because I want to keep the look of the exterior as it is, and then I can just build around it on the inside. Whereas back in the day, I would always like move around the windows to suit what I needed on the interior, and I think that really did affect how the exteriors of my build looked, because windows are really such a big part of how, like, the design and the look and the feel of the build on the exterior, and you know, how you use the windows is important. Like, you know, you're not going to use these big type of windows on like a traditional build. You know, that's generally a smaller, more decorative window rather than a larger plain one. But your modern builds and your contemporary builds, where natural light is very much on trend, you know, you're going to use these bigger windows. So, you know, windows are a fashion choice, a design choice, and they do reflect the style of build that you're doing, and do help bring that together. So I forgot why I got on that subject, but anyway, that's something that I think about when I'm building, you know, because if I'm building a contemporary home or a modern home, you know, I just want to try and really keep to that throughout the build. And sometimes I'll do like a contemporary build with like a traditional twist. Sometimes you do make hybrid choices, or hybrid, you know, it is a hybrid build. But anyway, I'm waffling. But you know what I'm saying, you know, with windows, the choices that you make are important, and the placement of them can be important as well. So I was talking about that earlier in the build, how I use the windows to add shape to the exterior of the house, because geometric shapes is such a big part of the modern home. And so me just going around willy-nilly and just changing them and shifting them, and then it just, I don't know, it just changes the whole design of the house. And when you've spent so much time on the exterior and placing them and thinking about the placement and where it goes and making it look good, and then you go into the interior and then you just change it all around anyway, kind of defeats the purpose a little bit, right? So yeah, I mean, I certainly used to do that, but I've kind of, because I've really, I think it's just one of those evolutions as a builder. You kind of move away from that a bit. Like as I said, I still do it now and then, but it'll be with windows that are more around the back and or where it doesn't affect the design of the build. So I do think about it before I delete them. But yeah, for the most part, I do try to keep the windows as they are for a reason, because I placed them there for a reason. But yeah, every now and then I will delete something because it's either it's just like a hidden window anyway, or it's, you know, not going to affect the overall design. So yeah, I think about it before I delete it though. Make sure that I'm not going to ruin something that I've spent so much time creating, you know. Oh dear. Anyway, we're on the bedroom and it's coming together. We've got little touches of blue, so using the Dream Home Decorator set to a good effect in this build. I really do like that shade of blue, so I think that actually works really nicely with woods. I do like blue with woods. Like the mid-tone woods work really well with blues. I find the darker wood tones work really well with greens, and yeah, I don't know, the others kind of, it depends. Like yellow works really well with a dark brown as well, not so much with a light brown. Oranges, yeah, kind of can work with all sort of shades, I think. Not that there's enough orange in the game. Anyway, getting little bits and pieces there. So I've used the Snowy Escape bed and just some more of the Dream Home Decorator bits and pieces. Just getting some pictures on the wall. Yeah, always a struggle, but you know what, I think they've added like a couple more swatches in that. Oh no, I'm just imagining things. It's just that I used to avoid using that Dream Home Decorator painting, and I don't know why, because it's actually quite nice. I don't know why. I think there's one of the swatches that I didn't really like, and I think it's the one that's on the outside of the picture. Like when you look at it on the menu, it's like the picture, and it just makes me avoid it. Anyway, let's take a tour of what we did. So here we go. Here's the exterior. Absolutely lovely. And I was really proud of myself for the way that I created that backwards C shape around the front in the darker wood. I think that came together really nicely, and I think the shades work super nice with the desert. The landscaping obviously pulls that together with the palms and that sort of thing. And you'll notice that I used the little potted palm all over the place in this build. And there's a reason for that, because it's sort of a deserty, palmy kind of vibe. And the jungle adventure stuff obviously got a little bit of a play, and the growing together bamboo, which I really like that little plant. I think that's fabulous, and it kind of worked really nicely in this instance. So I think that's an absolutely lovely exterior. I was really proud of the way that they came together and how well it sort of captured the vibe of the inspiration. So moving inside, this is the hall area here, and moving through to the living area, which is actually quite pretty. I managed to make it pretty, so that's nice. And so you can sort of see the TV with all the little bits and pieces of clutter, and we just used a blue feature wall there. And moving through to the dining area, kept it pretty simple with just the rug and the dining, and looking back onto the living area there, and then looking forward to the kitchen, where we've used touches of blue and used the island living counters as well. And the white and the lighter brown with the darker brown wall. And we used as I talked about earlier, the island living top counters just to create the shelving, and added the little bits and pieces of clutter in there. And I think that's come together really pretty, so I'm really happy with that. Moving upstairs, that's our little living area upstairs. Not much room, but that's what it is. And then moving into our bathroom upstairs, once again using Jungle Adventure for the wallpaper and Island Living for the counters. Moving into the bedroom, so we've used Snowy Escape to good effect in there. I really like the wood from Snowy Escape, so that is one of my favourite packs, and mixing that with the Dream Home Decorator pack as well. And then moving over to our little custom wardrobe, so I use Snowy Escape and Dream Home Decorator to create that, and then that's our little study nook there. Super cute. And Tiny Home Living always works really nice with Dream Home Decorator as well. I just wish they had like a darker wood in the Tiny Home Living like swatches and stuff. Like a darker wood would be amazing with that pack. Like, why didn't they do a darker wood? I want a darker wood. Anyway, moving on to the second bedroom, and this one has like some cute little touches of blue, and that is our build. Thank you so much for watching. You have a good one, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye bye.